This video is strictly for educational, documentary, and scientific purposes only.
We decided to meet at the statue of Louis Pasteur at 4:20, get high, and go look for this pot.
And after that, we'd see each other in the halls. We'd say 420 Louis. That meant we were going to meet that day to go out and get high and then look for the marijuana patch. We never found the patch, but we discovered we had a secret term we could use in front of our parents, cops, teachers, and nobody knew what we were talking about. We didn't realize we were creating history at the time.
It's 420 somewhere, and I wish each and every single one of you a very happy 420. No matter if you are probably at the event at this 420 in front of the Brandenburg Gate in Germany. Yes, Germany legalized recreational use of cannabis. Or if you are just hanging out with the community online. I will definitely be around later on with Grower Joe and all the others as well. I had a very special request this year for 420 because I really wanted to talk to the Waldos. And if you know the story of 420, where it comes from, it originates in 1971 when a group of high school students, they were calling themselves the Waldos, they actually went on a treasure hunt for a patch of weed. Well, let's dive right into my interview with the Waldos and hear from them how it actually happened, how 420 was created.
Sebastian, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for I'm like honored. I'm like really like totally honored that you guys taking these 15 minutes for me.
So, Sebastian, what do you think about Germany breaking open? That's pretty major. People don't realize that. That's going to break open the entire European continent.
I think that's the game changer. I am German, so it means the world to me, you know, because I had to use 420 as a code, just like you had to use it as students, because it was pretty strict back then in Germany. And once I started hearing about, 420, I was like 14, 15 or so. I'm like, yeah, man, that's what we're gonna use with my best friend Chris. That's what we're gonna use. We came back from our student trip to the United States. I'm like, yeah, 420. That's what because nobody knew that, like nobody knew. I mean, who am I telling this? So I have a very
Sebastian,
deep connection.
I lived in Germany for 3 years. Lived in Frankfurt and Mannheim.
Oh wow! How come? Military?
Yeah, my dad was in the military. That was back in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
It was just right after the Berlin Wall went up.
Oh wow, crazy. So that was before 420 was born.
Way before.
So does Germany breaking open, is that any incentive for you to migrate over to that country?
See, we do like it quite warm. My wife is from the East Coast, from the Jersey Shore, but she, her family is all in Florida, and we lived in Spain for the reason because it is like kind of like a bit more chill, a bit more, tranquilo, a bit less hectic, and also the weather is just beautiful. And so, yes, I mean, if I would think in a business sense, I would have to go immediately to Germany. We would have to just pack up and move to Germany. I'm not gonna do that though. So like,
well, once Germany will get it going, another country will go down. I mean, it'll happen.
I think so. Though. So right now, the way it's decriminalized in Germany, they can't make it yet fully legal because it is. In the EU law, it's still a drug, right? So they can't make it commercially available. But once some other countries pull along, and Spain will come, Portugal will come, there's some countries like, we have Malta already, which is legal, Luxembourg, all these countries will come, and once that stone, it will take a few years, but then I think we're gonna go legal, hopefully completely. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. I'm like talking about this plant and about 420 all the time, just because I think it's a medicine, and it's B, a lot as a fun drug. It's a lot less harmful than a lot of other legal drugs. And so I'm just like, we just have to preach and tell, and the people will listen.
Do you recreate or medicate?
I think I am a bit more, my wife always says, I think I'm a little bit more of a recreational user, but my wife is more like of a medical user. Yeah. But I also see how it helps me a lot. Like I'm like all over the place and I can't focus often. And then if I have like a good strong indica, that helps me definitely to center myself and to work better.
That's going back to the Waldos, Sebastian, we were never really stupid stoners. We were always motivated guys that wanted to seek adventure, and we just enhanced that. And, we were good in school. Steve was good in math and his studies, and I was a filmmaker, and the other guys were all engaged. And we used to love going on what we called safaris. We were so bored with the jock scene, so we'd meet up and we'd go on these safaris and go out and meet weird and interesting people and go to all these adventurous places, and we get high while we're doing it, and it just enhanced it.
Yeah, I can see that. For me, it's also an enhancer, and that's funny. I have that in my questions here, because it doesn't have this like effect on me so much. It's for me much more of a, as you said, I love the word enhancer. Right, so when you were going on these safaris and stuff, were you using it you say you were using it in a similar way? So basically, you already answered my question.
Well, I don't know about Dave. I wasn't using it any particular way. I know that I couldn't, because back in those days, you didn't know what you're getting every day. I mean, you didn't walk into a dispensary where they tell you it's a certain strain or it's a certain potency. Every single batch you get, it could be something completely different, Russian roulette. So you never knew how it would affect you.
That's cool. That's interesting. So the consumption before the safaris was the first part of the safari.
Oh yeah, that was the enhancer part. And then we enhanced it the whole time.
Amazing. And what did come first? To come back to the 420, I mean, I know the story, but like from you briefly, how did it come and what came first? Those safaris, or did the 420, the digits?
Actually, we're taking safaris before the actual 420 episode happened. We were already going off on these unusual adventures. And then one day we were on our high school campus, and a buddy comes up to me and he's got a map. He's unfolding a map. He goes, "Hey, my brother's in the Coast Guard and some guys in the U.S. Coast Guard." Unbelievable to think that guys in the military are smoking, are doing that. He said some guys are in the Coast Guard. It was his brother-in-law. He told me it was his brother. Were growing some pot, and for some reason they thought that their commanding officer was going to bust them. They didn't want to get busted, so they decided to give up the patch and said, "Hey, here's a map. He gives you permission to go just pick it as you guys want." So we decided, for a number of different reasons, which we could go into if we need to meet at 420 at the statue of Louis Pasteur, the scientist who invented pasteurization, and bongs probably too. We decided to meet at the statue of Louis Pasteur at 420. It's originated as a time to go look for this, to get high and go look for this pot pack.
And we'd meet up, the first day we went out there, we got high at the statue of Louis Pasteur. And after that, we'd say, we'd see each other in the halls. We'd say 420 Louis. That meant we were going to meet that day to go out and get high and then look for the marijuana patch. And so that evolved for several weeks. Doing that. We never found the patch, but we discovered we had a secret term we could use in front of our parents, cops, teachers, and nobody knew what we were talking about. So we had a little something to go along with our safaris by creating that term, and we didn't realize we were creating history at the time. We were just creating a little secret term and having fun.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And eventually you dropped that Louis and it was just 420, and And a legend was born, or yeah, these digits were born. I mean, they really mean the world for me. I start every single of my videos with "It's 420 somewhere," and I end every single of my videos with "It's 420 somewhere." So I say these digits. I stand. I try to follow you in your
it's
path.
it's certainly a convenient short code to refer to it and the industry and everything else. It's very efficient. I guess you must already know that 420 friendly has made it into the whole world of real estate ads and dating, so people can quickly refer to anything related to it.
Absolutely.
And it just keeps growing every year. I was looking at statistics yesterday. I guess the estimates are anywhere between 150 million to 200 million people that get high on the globe, and then in United States, it was like in 2022, it was 21 billion of sales, legal sales. And I've seen this year estimates of it being like 30 billion. It's just amazing.
The sales go way up on 420 every year.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Everybody needs some good 420 on 420.
I was reading this thing last night from Time magazine. It said the states go down by one. There's been like 75% of all Americans now. They can get either medicinal or recreational weed. But it said whenever a new state legalizes, in the first year, the college applications go up 5.5%, and at the state schools, the large state schools, it goes up like 54%. This is the year after they legalized. I was reading that in Time magazine last night. That's pretty amazing.
Because people start getting high more because they're afraid less and drink less alcohol, and that can only be good for everybody.
Yeah.
It's also good for the pizza parlors, too.
You got it. A few questions, because I don't want to take you up for your time for too long, because I know you're super busy this week. Why 420? Why not 415 or 430?
Well, it was just a time after school that we could all meet, because all of us had different activities after school. Steve was studying. Some of the guys were playing on the football team. I wasn't on the team, but we all decided, well, that's just enough time for us to meet after school and get out to Point Reyes and go look for the patch.
Yeah, we got out of school around 3:00. It was a flexible schedule. Some people got out at 3:10. So when they did have football practice, it was generally approximately an hour. Sometimes they got out early. Some days they didn't have football practice. My study hall after school, good students, that was an hour. So that just worked out perfect.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks to that, I like 420 a lot. I think 415 would be only half as cool.
Yeah.
And you said you never actually found the patch, but did you go like on a lot of safaris? Because you said you didn't even know which strains or what, if it even was sativa or indica, what you would get fingers on.
We had no idea what strain it was. All we knew was free weed. So we went out there for several weeks, looking every day and coordinating. And we pass each other in the school halls and say 420 Louis, and you shake your head and go, yeah, 420 Louis. See you later on, and we'll go look.
Of course, we were smoking weed all the way out there and listening to all the music of that era. The music of the early 70s was incredible. Really incredible.
Still the music I listen to. I wasn't born in the 70s yet. I'm born in the 80s, but still the music I listen to this day.
Yeah. So that was enjoyable. We were out. Sometimes by the end of the search, it was coming home in the dark. Some days there'd be a lot of fog or cloud cover. There was always a stony experience.
There was a lot of fog and cloud cover in the car always.
Hotboxing in the car, in the safari mobile, no?
Yeah.
Amazing. And how is it nowadays? Like when you see what happened, like with the term you created and the legacy you're having, is it sometimes like unbelievable? Because there must be hundreds of millions people who know 420 and what it means, and it means to
still
people
have a
like
sense
me
of
the
humor
world.
about it. We have a sense of humor about it. We still do.
Yeah, Sebastian, we didn't realize at the time we were creating history, all we were doing was having fun, getting high, and we used a secret little code as a joke. And now it's mind-boggling how it's spread across the world, but it's something to enjoy and have a good laugh at, and that's what we do every year.
I don't know if you read the website or anything.
Yeah, of course.
Dave himself, there were connections with Dave and Mark into the band called the Grateful Dead. Are you familiar with that band? And filtered into Grateful Dead culture, which is worldwide. That's one of the ways it's spread.
Yeah, I was, my brother Pat was Phil Lesh's good buddy, the bassist for the Grateful Dead. Phil they took a hiatus in 1975. Phil hired my brother Pat to be his manager for a couple of his side bands, and Pat hired me to be a roadie. So I was getting high backstage with guys like David Crosby and Phil Lesh, Terry Haggerty. That filtered through the Dead community and the roadies, and then it just started spreading. And also Mark, his dad, was a realtor for the Dead, and he
find places to rehearse, places to store their equipment. There was always, and when they made money, he would find, he'd find them the homes in the hills here, and then we'd be able to babysit their houses and take care of their pets, when they're going out on tour. So that's one of the ways it spread through the culture. And but then it took another turn as we got bigger and bigger, and there were public gatherings, and then the media started paying more attention to it. It was organic. It did it a lot. It was on its own, a lot of it.
It was like an organic viral spread, through the Grateful Dead community. Our brothers, our friends, our college mates, it just spread over the years.
And it always had a kind of a tinge of humor with it. There was always 420 is just kind of funny. Everybody always thought it was funny, and that kind of helped spread it too. The fact that you could use this as a secret code, or people could be serious about it, but it also kind of carried the tone of humor with it.
Because the Waldos were always into humor. We used to go to comedy shows, and we used to just try to crack each other up all the time by doing impressions of friends, family, everybody.
We still do.
We still do. We still get together. We still go on safaris. We still make, do impressions of people, and just to crack each other up. So nothing has changed in the last 50 years. We're still doing safaris. We're still friends, and we're still having fun.
As soon as we finish this call, we'll do impersonations of you.
Okay, and I can't wait for that. I hope you're gonna send me some. And do you still get high?
Oh yeah, we still get high, but it's not like when we were in high school.
Of course.
We have families and jobs, and we partake, but not every day anymore. But Saturday, you never know.
And any preferences in indica, sativas, or is it mood dependent, or any? Should it taste like back then when you came up with 420, or can it also taste like a modern dessert kind of?
It was mostly sativa back then. It was Mexican strains. Like Oaxacan and Colombian Gold. Now Colombian Gold was really strong back then. Because we got a lot of dirt weed back then. It was, seeds and stems, and so you never knew what you're getting until, about the mid-'70s. That's when the Hawaiian weed started coming in, Maui Wowie and those strains, and that's when it started getting really strong. But in the early 70s, when we were smoking, it may not have been as strong, but we made up for that by smoking copious amounts.
Good for you.
These days, Dave is not giving any Yelp reviews.
Yeah.
Very good.
You look like you're in a photo booth, doesn't he, Dave?
It is
one of those
a
real
little bit
cheap
funny,
photo booths.
with my curtains here to the outside world in my caravan. Yeah, my studio is gone for now, but yeah, I'm happy. At least I am on the go. And I do grow. Wait, I can show. Wait, what? Over here. That's my grow box. You see that? This thing here?
Right.
There's it's locked right now. I should show you. There's like a baby. She was just born like the other day. Just the tiny, tiny baby plant. And I let our whole community grow along with me. So this will be like a lemon sherry cookies.
All right, can we get some?
Yes, of course. I will hook you up 100%. Please, afterwards, send me an email with your addresses, and 100% I will send you some seeds if you want to. And then you can make a patch and you can draw me a map and send it to me, and I will try to find it. No?
But you'll be too high to ever find it like we were.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much, guys, for taking your time. I know we have to run because you're busy. One last question though, Waldos. I know it had to do with you were meeting at the wall, and that happened, if I understood right now out of our interview, before you even came up with 420. Why did it?
Right.
Why did this whole happen? Why Waldos?
Well, this was a wall in the middle of the Santa Fe High School's campus, and in between classes, we were friends. We'd meet there and sit on the wall, and we'd make fun of people walking by doing impressions just to crack each other up. And after a while, that hence the Waldos. We named ourselves the Waldos, and that's how that happened.
Amazing. Yeah, I can see. I could talk with you for many more hours. I am a huge fan. I have made videos about how this all happened with 420 way before I got the chance to talk to you. I'm really honestly super grateful and super honored that you took your time for me.
Okay, Sebastian, thank you.
Hope it does well. Thank you.
We hope you get lots of hits and your website expands, okay?
Thank you so much, guys, and I will send you some beans for sure, and always remember, it's 420 somewhere.
Happy 420.
All right, happy 420.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Fast Buzz.